My name is Elena Winters, and 6 months ago I stood on a stage in a crystal ballroom while my former boss sat 3 tables back, watching me accept an award she told me I would never deserve. The applause was thunderous, the spotlight was warm, and when I thanked everyone except her, the silence around her table was deafening. She had called me not classy enough. That night, I was the only person in the room who mattered. It began on a Tuesday morning in March. I had worked at Hartfield Marketing for 4 years as a senior strategist. I had brought in 3 major clients that year and saved 2 failing campaigns. That morning, my boss Diane Hartfield called me into her office, wearing her usual expression of controlled superiority. She told me the agency was hosting a table at the annual Marketing Excellence Gala. I assumed I was being invited. I was wrong. Diane said the team attending needed to represent the agency's image. Premium clients would be there. Then she said it. "You're brilliant at your work, Elena, but you're not quite classy enough for this crowd." She gestured at my outfit, mentioned my accent from South Philadelphia. She said the gala required a certain polish. I didn't have it. Someone else would attend in my place. I sat there absorbing the insult. Not classy enough. I had built my career on skill and hard work. I held a master's degree. But none of that mattered because I didn't sound like I summered in the Hamptons. I nodded, said I understood, and walked out with my face burning. The gala was 3 months away. I spent that afternoon pretending to work while rage crystallized into clarity. Diane had revealed exactly how she saw me, useful but inferior. I had 2 choices: accept that assessment or prove it catastrophically wrong. Have you ever been judged as not good enough by someone who should have valued you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. That evening, I researched the Marketing Excellence Gala Awards. The Innovation and Strategy Award was the most prestigious. I had an idea I had been developing quietly for 2 years. A marketing framework, integrating real-time consumer behavior with predictive modeling. Revolutionary, if I could prove it worked. I reached out to Marcus Chen, a former colleague who ran his own consultancy. I pitched him my framework over coffee. He offered partnership. He would provide funding and infrastructure if I developed the framework fully. We would test it on real clients and co-author a white paper. I said yes. For 3 months, I worked at Hartfield during the day and with Marcus at night. We refined the framework, we ran tests. The data was extraordinary. Our approach increased client engagement by 43% and reduced acquisition costs by 31%. We had something genuinely groundbreaking. Meanwhile, at Hartfield, Diane praised my work while excluding me from high-profile events. She took credit for my campaigns and invited junior colleagues to client dinners. Each slight reinforced my decision. 2 months before the gala, Marcus and I submitted our white paper to major industry publications. All 3 accepted it. The response was immediate. Most importantly, the selection committee for the Marketing Excellence Awards contacted us. Our framework had been nominated for Innovation and Strategy. We presented to them flawlessly. 6 weeks later, we had won. I told no one at Hartfield. 3 weeks before the gala, I submitted my resignation. Diane looked shocked. She asked where I was going. I told her I was joining Marcus Chen's consultancy as a partner. She wished me well with a tight smile, clearly believing I was making a mistake. My last day at Hartfield was unremarkable. A small cake, polite goodbyes. I walked out feeling lighter than I had in years. The night of the gala arrived with perfect weather. I wore a floor-length emerald gown, hair in a sleek updo. I looked exactly like someone who belonged on that stage. Marcus and I met near the entrance. The ballroom was spectacular. I spotted Hartfield's table immediately. Diane sat surrounded by her chosen team. None of them noticed me enter. Marcus and I were seated at the head table, reserved for award winners. 20 feet from the stage, while Diane sat in the middle of the room.
Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Turn on bell notification to stay updated for more revenge stories.
During dinner, I conversed with other honorees. A CEO, a creative director, a best-selling author. These were my peers now. The award presentations began after dessert. 4 categories were announced first. Each winner walked to the stage, accepted their trophy, and gave brief remarks. The room applauded politely. Then the MC stepped forward to introduce the final category. Innovation and Strategy, the most prestigious award of the evening. He described the winning framework's impact: revolutionary approach to consumer engagement, measurable results across multiple industries, 43% increase in engagement, 31% reduction in acquisition costs. Then he announced our names. The spotlight found me at the head table. I stood and walked toward the stage with Marcus beside me. The applause grew louder. I felt every eye in the room following me. I climbed the stairs carefully in my gown. The MC handed me the award. Heavy glass trophy with gold accents. Marcus stepped back, letting me take the microphone. This was my moment. I thanked the selection committee. I acknowledged Marcus's partnership and vision. I explained briefly how our framework worked and why it mattered to the industry. I spoke about the importance of innovation driven by data rather than assumptions. Then I did something deliberate. I thanked the people who believed in my work when others dismissed my potential. I thanked mentors who saw my value beyond superficial judgments. I thanked colleagues who championed competence over pedigree. I never mentioned Diane or Hartfield. I didn't need to. The absence of acknowledgement said everything. When you thank everyone except one person, that omission echoes louder than any insult. I looked out at the audience during the applause. I found Diane's table. Her face was frozen in a smile that looked painful. The colleagues around her were whispering. They had realized the connection. Elena Winters, former Hartfield employee. The woman Diane said wasn't classy enough. Now standing on stage accepting the industry's highest honor while Diane sat in the crowd. The reversal was complete and utterly public. After the ceremony, people surrounded me. Executives wanted to discuss implementation. Journalists requested interviews. I was networking at the event. Diane said I wasn't sophisticated enough to attend. Diane approached near the end. She congratulated me with a voice like chewing glass. She said she always knew I had potential. I smiled, thanked her politely, then excused myself to speak with another industry leader. That dismissal hurt her more than anger ever could. The following weeks transformed my career. The award opened doors I never imagined. Fortune 500 companies requested consultations. Speaking invitations arrived from conferences worldwide. Marcus and I expanded the consultancy. Within 6 months, our revenue exceeded what I made in 3 years at Hartfield. My opinion became sought after across the industry. I heard Hartfield struggled after I left. 2 major clients followed me. The campaigns I managed began underperforming. Diane hired 3 people to replace me, and none matched my results. I took no pleasure in that decline. I was too busy building something better. My relationship with my work changed fundamentally. At Hartfield, I had been grateful for opportunities. I had accepted being undervalued because I believed that was the cost of entry. Diane's insult shattered that mindset. She taught me that some people will never recognize your worth no matter how much you prove yourself. The solution isn't working harder for their approval. It's building something so undeniable that their opinion becomes irrelevant. I still attend industry galas. I'm invited as a speaker now, not just an attendee. I see Diane occasionally at these events. She nods politely. I nod back. We exchange no words. There's nothing left to say. She had her chance to value my work and chose to focus on my polish instead. That choice cost her a talented strategist and gained me the freedom to build an empire. The emerald gown hangs in my closet as a reminder. Not of revenge exactly, of transformation. Of the moment I stopped seeking validation from people who couldn't see past their own biases. Diane told me I wasn't classy enough. She was measuring the wrong qualities. Class isn't about accent or pedigree. It's about grace under pressure, integrity in success, and the ability to turn insults into fuel. By that measure, I had always been classy. I just needed someone to underestimate me badly enough to prove it on the biggest stage possible. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to watch more revenge and inspiring stories that will make you excited like this one. Where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments and let us know what you think about this story.
Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Turn on bell notification to stay updated for more revenge stories.